Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today, it is August 21st, 2021. I'm sorry, I was absorbed in playing video games. I did not notice your message. I'm sorry, I was absorbed in watching the TV, so I couldn't notice your message. Are you absorbed in playing the video game? Are you absorbed in playing the video game? Are you absorbed in watching the video? Are you absorbed in watching the video? I'm absorbed in watching the video now, so I'm busy. I will call you later. I will send you the message later, because I'm absorbed in watching the video. I'm absorbed in watching the video. I'm absorbed in watching videos. I'm absorbed in studying. I'm absorbed in studying, so I'm busy. I will send you a message when I finish my studying. Are you absorbed in watching the video? Are you absorbed in playing the new video game? Are you absorbed in watching the high school baseball tournament game? Are you absorbed in watching the high school baseball tournament? Are you accustomed to getting up early in the morning? I'm not accustomed to getting up early. I am not accustomed to this environment yet. I am not accustomed to living in this city yet. I am not accustomed to speaking with foreign people. Are you accustomed to talking with foreigners? Are you accustomed to delivering a speech in public? Are you accustomed to singing in public? Are you accustomed to playing the piano in public? Are you accustomed to playing the guitar in public? Are you accustomed to making a speech in the meeting? Are you accustomed to making a speech in the meeting? I'm not accustomed to getting up early. I'm not used to getting up early. I don't get used to waking up early. I'm not accustomed to getting up early. Are you acquainted with the comedian? How long have you been acquainted with her? How long have you been acquainted with her? How long have you been acquainted with her? Are you acquainted with him? Are you acquainted with the artist? Are you really acquainted with the artist? Are you really acquainted with the artist? Are you really acquainted with the artist? I'm not acquainted with the artist. I wish I were acquainted with the artist. I wish I were acquainted with the artist. If I were acquainted with the artist, I would have informed you about that. If I were acquainted with the artist, I would have told you about that. Are you acquainted with him, with whom you were talking with yesterday? Are you acquainted with the woman with whom you were talking yesterday? I am not acquainted with her. I am not acquainted with him. I have been acquainted with my coworker for more than 10 years. I wish I were acquainted with the artist. Are you afraid of riding the attraction? Are you afraid of taking the attraction? Are you afraid of roller coaster? Are you afraid of free fall? Are you afraid of taking the free fall? Are you afraid of amusement park? Are you afraid of haunted house? Are you afraid of roller coaster? I am not afraid of roller coaster. I was not aware of the thief. When I was sleeping last night, I couldn't be aware of thief entering my house. While I was sleeping at night yesterday, I couldn't be aware of the thief entering my house, breaking into my house. Are you aware of your situation? Are you aware of the situation? The old couple weren't aware of the existence of the thief. The old couple were not aware of the existence of the thief. I was already aware of the existence of my friend. The student was not aware of the holiday. The student was not aware of the day off, so he went to the school, ending up coming home after, only to come back home again. He was not aware of the day off, so he went to the school, only to come home again. Sorry to him. The employee were not aware of the air conditioning on. So he left the office with the air conditioning on. The employee was not aware of the air conditioning running. So he left the office with the air conditioning running. The law is based on the Constitution. The law is based on Constitution. Sumo is based on Shinto ritual. The design is based on seashell. The design of the supermarket is based on fish. The design of the building is based on fish. The design of the wall is based on Japanese style. The policy is based on his viewpoint. The policy is based on his viewpoint. The law is based on Constitution. The law is based on Constitution. This train is bound for Shinjuku. This train is bound for Shibuya. Please change trains here for Yamanote Line. I'm searching for the bus stop bound for Shinjuku Station. I'm searching for the bus stop bound for Shinjuku. Where is it? The number of the bus stop is number 3, which is bound for Shinjuku Station. Thank you. This bus is bound for Kansai International Airport. This bus stop comes the bus. This bus stop is for Kansai International Airport, bound for Kansai International Airport. This bus is bound for Narita International Airport. Are you busy with study? Are you busy with your work? You are always busy with your work, so we cannot hang out like forever. You are always busy with your work, so we cannot go hanging out like forever. Why are you always busy with your work? You should have a day off. I didn't want to be caught in traffic jam, so I left my house 30 minutes earlier than usual. I didn't want to be caught in traffic jam, so I left my house 1 hour earlier than usual. Unfortunately, I was caught in the traffic jam on the way to my work, so I was late for workplace. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, on my way home, I was caught in heavy rain, so I'm wet now. So first I want to take a shower and refreshed. When I went to Arashiyama for sightseeing, I was caught in thunderstorm and heavy rain, but fortunately it was after my sightseeing. It was thundering so loud and raining so heavily. I bought bus ticket, which is available within the Kyoto for 600 yen, but it was raining so heavily I couldn't go to check the timeline outside, so I took the train instead, though I have the ticket for the bus. I don't want to be caught in troubles. 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 Anyone doesn't want to be caught in troubles. Everyone doesn't want to be caught in troubles. When you are caught in troubles, please ask me. I will help you. I will happy to help you. I'm happy to help you. I will be happy to help you. Thank you. I was caught in traffic jam on my way home. I think many people will be caught in traffic jam on their way home and on their way to workplace. I don't want to be caught in traffic jam. I don't want to be caught in traffic jam. I don't want to be caught in traffic jam. I don't want to be caught in traffic jam, so I left my house earlier than usual. I don't want to be caught in traffic jam, so I took the train this morning, though I usually go to work by car. Are you conscious of your level? We are conscious of our limited time and budget. We are conscious of the limited time and budget. Are you conscious of your level? Are you conscious of your limited time? Are you conscious of your limited time? Are you conscious of your age? Are you conscious of your age? Are you conscious of the situation? 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 If you are conscious of the situation, you won't do that. If you are conscious of the situation, you won't do that. You will not do that. So why did you do that? It means you are not conscious of the situation. Drinking water. Are you conscious of the price? Are you conscious of the level? Are you conscious of the level of this examination? Are you conscious of how difficult to enter the university? Are you conscious of how difficult it is to prepare for the examination? Are you conscious of how long it takes to prepare for the examination? Only 1 week is left until the examination. Oh, I was not conscious of the difficulty. I was not conscious of the difficulty, so I will skip it. I will take the examination next year. But I will take it, though I know I will fail. I'm conscious of my power. I'm conscious of my level and age. I'm conscious of my age and limited time. I'm conscious of my limited time and knowledge level. We are conscious of our lack of time and budget. We are conscious of our limited time and budget. I'm really conscious of my lack of study. I'm conscious of my lack of study. Are you conscious of your lack of study? I'm conscious of my lack of knowledge and study. I'm conscious of my lack of study. I'm conscious of my lack of study. I'm conscious of my lack of experience in the society. I'm conscious of my lack of experience in the society. I'm conscious of my lack of experience in the field. So I have to stack up more experience in the field to be master. I'm conscious of my lack of experience in the field. Are you conscious of your experience? Are you conscious of your lack of experience in the field? Are you conscious of your lack of experience in the field? Are you conscious of your lack of experience in the field? Are you conscious of your lack of knowledge in the field? Are you conscious of what you did last night? Are you conscious of what you did last year? Are you conscious of what you did last night? Are you conscious of the post as the CEO of the company? Are you conscious of the post as the CEO of the company? Are you conscious of CEO? Are you conscious of the post as the CEO of the company? Yes, I am conscious of the post as CEO of this company. Are you content with your life? Are you content with what you did in the travel? Are you content with the price? Are you content with the price? Are you content with the TOEIC score? Are you content with the TOEIC score? Yes, I'm content with my TOEIC score. TOEIC score is not my life. I just do my best, that's all. Are you content with your TOEIC score? Are you content with your TOEIC score? Are you content with your TOEIC score? Yes, I'm content with my TOEIC score. Whether the meeting will be held is dependent on my boss. Whether or not the sports meeting will be held is dependent on my boss, the principal. Whether the sports meeting will be held is dependent on our principal. Whether the company picnic will be held is dependent on our CEO. Whether we can get bonus for the summer is dependent on the sales figures this year. Whether you can get pay raise is dependent on how hard you work for the company. Whether or not you can get higher score on TOEIC test is dependent on your effort and strategy of the examination, of the test exam. Whether it will be sunny or cloudy is dependent on the God. Whether or not you can get higher score on the TOEIC test is dependent on your effort. The type A is very different from type B. He is very different from his brother. He is very different from his brother. This soccer ball looks very different from that one. Tokyo is different from Osaka. The number of population in my city is very different from that of Tokyo. Have you been engaged in the car production? Have you been engaged in car production? Have you been engaged in car production? I have been engaged in car production. Why do you ask? Are you engaged in car production now? Have you ever been engaged in the festival? Have you been engaged in producing car? Have you been engaged in producing a car? Have you been engaged in hosting an event? Have you been engaged in hosting an event? Have you been engaged in producing something? Have you been engaged in making an art? Have you been engaged in producing pottery and porcelain? Have you been engaged in creating something art? Have you been engaged in producing pottery and porcelain? I have been engaged in producing pottery and porcelain. I'm engaged in producing pottery and porcelain. I'm not engaged in producing pottery and porcelain now. I used to be engaged in producing porcelain and pottery. I'm engaged in making programs. I am engaged in making programs. Are you engaged in hospital? Are you engaged in hospital? Are you engaged in medical facility? Are you engaged in the festival? Are you engaged in the event? Are you engaged in producing the car? His silence is equal to no. His silence is equal to no. Japanese 180 yen is equal to American $1. But it changes day by day. Sometimes Japanese 100 yen is equal to American $1. His silence is equal to no. His silence is equal to no. His silence is equal to no. Rain is equal to the suspension of the game. Heavy rain is equal to the suspension of the game. Heavy typhoon is equal to the cancellation of the flight. Not sending the document by the deadline is equal to cancellation. Are you faced with something problem? Are you faced with something problem? If you are faced with something problem, I will help you. So don't hesitate to ask me. Don't hesitate to give me the question. The company is faced with a big problem. The company is faced with once a year problem. The company is faced with once a year problem. The company is faced with once 100 years problem. I don't want to be faced with big problem. I don't want to be faced with a big problem. I don't want to be faced with a big problem. I don't want to be faced with a big problem. I don't want to be faced with a big problem. Are you faced with a big problem? I'm faced with a nervous situation now. I'm faced with a nervous situation. I'm faced with nervous situation. I'm faced with nervous situation before the concert. The boxer is faced with nervous situation before the fight. The company is faced with on the verge of bankruptcy. The company is on the verge of bankruptcy. The company is on the verge of the bankruptcy. The company is faced with bankruptcy. The company is faced with problems, many problems. The company is faced with many problems. The company is faced with many problems. The company is faced with many problems. The company is not faced with any problems right now. The company is not faced with any problems right now. The company is going well now. I don't want to be faced with any problems. The artist is very familiar to us in this region. The artist is very familiar to teenagers in this region. The group is very familiar to all people in this country. The comedian is familiar to us in this country. The comedian is familiar to us in this country. The comedian is familiar to us in this country. Sushi is familiar to everyone in the world, I think, maybe. Sushi and ramen is familiar to many people in the world. Sushi and ramen are familiar to many people in the world. Anime is familiar to many people in the world. Kusatsu is famous for onsen facilities. Kusatsu in Gunma Prefecture is famous for onsen facilities. Onsen area. Arima in Hyogo Prefecture is also famous for onsen area. But the bathtub is filled with hot water. The bathtub is filled with hot water. The bathtub is filled with hot water. The bottle is filled with Coca-Cola. The bottle is filled with water. Please fill the cup with tap water. The bottle is filled with soy sauce. The bottle is filled with soy sauce. The bottle was filled with tap water. The container is filled with rain. The container was filled with rain. The container was filled with rain. The container was filled with rain. I was filled with happiness. The bride and groom were filled with happiness at the wedding ceremony. Both bride and groom were filled with happiness at the wedding ceremony. Are you filled with happiness? Are you filled with anger? When our boss found the failure in the machine, he was filled with anger. When the boss found the failure in the machine, he was filled with anger. Your voice is fit for the song. You are really fit for this job. Why don't you work here? You are really fit for the job. Your voice is really fit for the song. Your voice is really fit for the song. You are really fit for this dress. You are really fit for this dress. Your voice is really fit for this song. 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 Oh, thunder is thundering. Your voice is really fit for this song. This pencil is really fit for writing. This pen is really fit for writing. This place is fit for running. This place is fit for running. This place is fit for running. Around Imperial Palace is famous for the running course. The outside of Imperial Palace is fit for running. Outside of the Imperial Palace is fit for running course. This place is fit for running. This place is not fit for running. Your voice is really fit for this song. This ground is fit for sports. Playground in front of the school is fit for sports. This ground is fit for school. This park is fit for skateboard. This ground is fit for sports. You are really fit for this job. You are fit for this dress. You are fit for this musical instrument. You are fit for this musical instrument. You are fit for this job. Are you fond of this group? Are you fond of Japanese music? Are you fond of J-rock, Japanese rock? Are you fond of rock music? Are you fond of classic music? Are you fond of classic music? I'm fond of classic music and rock music. Are you fond of yakiniku? I'm fond of yakiniku. 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 Are you also fond of yakiniku? Are you also fond of yakiniku? Are you also fond of yakiniku? Are you also fond of sushi and ramen? I'm fond of sushi and ramen. I'm fond of sushi. I'm not fond of sushi. I'm not fond of ramen. I'm fond of traveling. I'm fond of traveling. I'm not fond of traveling. I'm fond of miso soup. Are you fond of miso soup? Are you fond of onigiri? Are you fond of onigiri? Are you fond of onigiri? Now that I'm free of my luggage, I can walk around easily. Now that I'm free of my luggage, because the luggage was deposited at the hotel, so I can go easily. I want to go somewhere free from noise coming from outside. I want to leave a house. I want to sleep in a room which is free from noise. I want to sleep in a room which is free of noise coming from outside. I want to sleep in a room which is free of noise coming from outside. I want to live in a house which is free of noise, free from noise. You are finally free of luggage. Did you deposit your luggage at the hotel? Yes, I deposited my luggage at the hotel, so I can go easily now. Let's go sightseeing. He is free of knowledge. I want to be free of problem. The company is known as a white company, so the company is free of problems. The company is free from problems. I want to be free from pain. I want to be free from the pain. I want to be free of sadness. I want to be free from sadness. I want to be free from sadness. I want to be free of depression. I want to be free of depression. I want to be free of depression. I want to be free of sadness. Now that I'm free of my luggage, I can go easily. I can walk easily. Now that I'm from souvenir around me, with me, I can walk easily. I can sightsee easily. I want to be free of depression. I want to be free of sadness. I want to sleep in a room which is free of noise. I want to live in a house which is free from noise. I want to stay in a room which is free of cigarette smell. I want to stay in a room which is free from cigarette smell. It is good for you. The success is good for you. Heavy rain is good for the forest. The sun is good for drying our futon outside. Sunny is good for drying futon outside. Sunny is good for swimming. Sunny is good for swimming. The information is good for you. The information is good for you. Sleeping enough is good for your health. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you.